Right, let's have a more in-depth look at what we're going to do with this undercarriage. That pipe's looking a little bit grotty. I'm just wondering whether it'd be worth flattening it and painting it on the car. I don't want to undo the pipes and let any fluid out or anything, but I might be able to tidy that up if the owner wants me to go that far. I'm about to start the cleaning process and see how clean we can get it. Got a bowl here. I'm going to get the steamer out and start. So I'll see you a little bit later and we'll see how it's progressing. Well, I've been on this wheel arch for about an hour, and basically I've managed to get as much of the tar off as I can with copious amounts of tar this, and cleaned everything up. You can't see it at the moment, but this pipe kept bugging me. I haven't bothered ringing the owner because I know he'd just say whatever you think, Ted. So I've had flap wheel on a drill and got out as much of the rust as I can. I'm going to etch prime it and just masking off at the moment, as you can see, and put some etch primer on, a couple of coats of that, and then I'll satin black it. So it should look a lot better. Well, certainly better than it was anyway. I can't do the whole pipe properly without removing it, but I don't want all the whatever goes through it. It's air cooled, so I presume it's probably oil going to the oil cooler, so I don't really want to undo the pipes. So I'm doing the best I can with it on the car, but as you can see, I've got quite a bit of it off, and I'm going to etch prime it. So I'll see you a little bit later. Right, you can see I've etch primed it. It's had 3 good coats of etch primer. I've got the heat gun out, which I'm using to cure it. I'm going to sit here for about a quarter of an hour, let this cure before I start applying the colour. But it should be alright. Right, that's that bit done. Let's get it dry and move on. Right, you can see I've etch primed it. It's had 3 good coats of etch primer. I've got the heat gun out, which I'm using to cure it. I'm going to sit here for about a quarter of an hour, let this cure before I start applying the colour. But it should be alright. Right, that's that bit done. Let's get it dry and move on. Well, it's not perfect, but I have had to do it on the car, but it looks a lot better than it did. Well, I'm pleased with it. Nobody's ever going to see it, to be fair, but at least I know it's done. And the top end of this, I haven't dressed anything, it's just as it is at the moment, because I'm going to get underneath and clean the underside as well. So I don't really think it needs dressing as such. It's clean enough. If I get the bottom clean, I'll be pleased. But got all the arches, we've got all the tar off, and it's looking pretty much like it should. Obviously this cover I'll do before it goes back on, but I've spent about 3.5 hours under here, but that does include the painting of this tube. But it's well worth it when you get a result. You know, it looks good. I might put some dressing on just to bling it up a little bit, but it looks good naked. Right, I'm going to crawl underneath now. I've made a right mess in here. I've had the jet washer, the steamer, everything on it, but let's go underneath, see if I can get this one side completed today. But I'm pleased with that. Right, see you a bit later. Here we are with a little bit of dressing on it, just to satisfy the people who like to see the stuff finished. Nice. Right, all this is now back together. I've had to remove that panel so I could remove this, to remove the PPF from the rear quarter, and then I've refitted this so that I could peel the PPF from this, because you know it's easier to pull at a rigid surface than it is flopping around. So PPF's off that, PPF's off that. This is all back together, and now I'm going to deal with this as best I can. There's quite a few stone chips, and also there's a piece of trim that goes behind the plastic that looks a bit mank, so I'm going to deal with that while I'm still over this side. Now it's all coming back together quite nice. Right, let's deal with that and then I can move on. Well, I've come to the end of the day and I still haven't been underneath this side yet, but I've removed all the glue over the last hour that was left by the PPF, so that's all off, and basically I've tidied this edge up somewhat. These are all little jobs that just seem to take a long time. The glue, it's a complete pain to get off, but that's off now. And I've ceramic coated the brake caliper while I was here. I'm happy with this side, and then tomorrow morning I shall be crawling underneath the car to do the underside of this side before I go and start another wheel arch. But this has come out nice, you know, it's just how I want it. There's a lot of tar removal. I've used about half a gallon of tar remover, TARDIS, to get all the tar out of it, but it was well worth it. Also the arm was spattered with tar as well, got all that out. Well, it was everywhere, to be fair. Heat shields come up nice. Pipe don't look too bad. It's not perfect, but it's certainly a lot cleaner, and I'm quite happy with it. So this side's really, or the upper end of it's finished. See what the underneath's got to offer tomorrow. Right then, I'll be back when I'm under the car, I suppose. I'll see you soon. Well, today I'm on the underside of the car. Now the engine is covered in the original grease or wax, so I'm not removing that. It looks like dirt, but it's not, it's wax. But the parts I can clean up are these bits. So I'm going to do my utmost to clean up, you know, some of the bits that look a bit grubbier. And that way, if anybody pokes their head under the car, it's going to look quite nice. There's not a lot, you know, without having a dry ice cleaner. There's not a lot you can really do unless you want to spend 3 weeks getting the wax off. But I'm certainly going to try and make this look tidy. It's the same both sides, you know. There's quite a lot I can clean up to make it look better. So I'm probably going to spend a couple of days under here. But I'll crack on with this, see how this looks, get it looking a bit better, get the tips cleaned, just generally make it look a bit nicer. You know, I don't know how many people are going to be looking underneath this car in the future, but you know, it'll just tidy it up a bit. But you can see the wax over the suspension there, so I'm going to leave the wax that's there. I'm going to clean the back of the shock off that I didn't do yesterday, and just generally going to make it look nicer. I'll see you later. Well, I wouldn't even bother asking how long this has taken. Now I've got to do that side. It's time to start under here now. Remove that panel so I can remove that panel and then get cleaning. Well, I've been really pleased with the way that the arches come out, apart from the paintwork underneath was very dull. Even though it was squeaky clean, it was dull, so I've taken it upon myself to give it 2 coats of clear lacquer. It'll protect it, give it a bit of gloss, and I just think it looks better. But it's a bit late now if anybody thinks, well, no, that's the wrong thing to do, but I've put that much time in polishing stuff under the car, and that, you know, I felt like I needed to have this a bit better looking. So that's what I've done. I've had that panel off and cleaned all that up. Everything's clean. I've left a lot of the wax on because it does preserve the car, but obviously cleaned, you know, the arms and whatnot, but I wasn't going to take all the protection off. But I think it looks cool. I've got the PPF off this side. I've just got the glue to remove. That'll be my next job, and then move on to the fronts. So probably another day on the fronts, and then we could start thinking about doing the polishing. Although I've still got another door card to remove, but I think that looks a lot better. Let me know what you think. See you soon.